Hi everyone, welcome back. Today, day 2, we are going to be looking at the third letter of John. Now remember, John is one of the original disciples of Jesus, but it's many years since Jesus was ministry, and he spent time with him. He's an old man now, but he cares for the congregations around him. So it's AD 90. There's lots of different churches all over the place, and he's sending letters out. Now, unlike Paul, who writes epic letters, John seems to write short, snappy ones. But they are little snapshots of the culture and the important values of the early church. And this example of his letter is written out to a guy called Gaius. Now, Gaius has built himself a good reputation. The word has got out through the itinerant teachers that would go round that he's a good place to have. He provides a good meal. He's obviously a good host. He looks after people. Now, the early church, remember, is a whole bunch of little home churches. And whoever is wanting to share the gospel goes into a town, plants a little church. They congregate normally around someone's home, but most times they're left then. The teacher, the preacher moves on, and that local congregation has to find their own leaders and study and learn as much as they can. But they're hungry for more. They need to be taught how to be a Christian, how to follow Christ. And so what's happened is lots of older Christians, more mature Christians, start going around teaching. They pop in for a few weeks, give some more teaching, and then move on to the next congregation, from congregation to congregation, little home church to little home church. Well, here we see Gaius, who has become a bit of a legend of his time as a good place to stay. He's someone who's got a real heart for teachers, a real loving soul, and he wants to give his best. So they've noticed this and passed that message on to John. John's heard about him, and he holds him as a great example. And he contrasts him with another leader of a church that is really pretty anti any of these travelling teachers. Doesn't host them, doesn't look after them. In fact, he almost wants to bar them from his area. Very protective, very isolationist. Now, we don't know exactly why that is. Maybe he's started to believe something different from the gospel, or maybe he's had an argument with someone, or something's happened. And John is basically saying, look, Christ loves people, and if you want to be a good leader of a local church, you need to be hospitable. Hospitality is a core value of the church, of Christ, of God. We're here to love people, love one another. And if a visiting teacher comes into your area, look after them. Now, that was the situation then. But in our situation, I would say that the modern church has built up quite a few barriers to different denominations. And if we're taking that principle about hospitality, we need to recognise that even if we don't totally agree with all the ideas and thoughts that our fellow Christians have, we still need to love them, because they are part of the family of God. If they believe Jesus is the Son of God, they believe that he died for our sins and rose again, and he is the only way, truth and life, then they are part of the family. We're all Christ's bride. We're all part of God's family, and we need to look out for each other. We need hospitality. But also, hospitality is a great evangelistic tool. Not only is it a way of building bridges with other groups of Christians, it is also a way of building bridges into people's hearts. Hospitality in the church is a hugely important thing. Who are you inviting back for a meal? Who are you looking after? Who are you looking out for? Love one another. I always remember in a congregation I used to belong to, I felt a real urge to go up to a young lady who was there for the first day and say, look, would you like to come back to my family home? We're going to be having Sunday lunch. Would you like to join us? And I didn't know, but she actually said to God, look, if someone asked me back for lunch, then I know that this is the home that you want me, spiritual home that you want me to be in. You never know how you can impact people's lives, but just asking them back for a meal or a drink or providing them a place to hang out. Be hospitable, because that is a core value of the church, not only then, but also now. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow.